The following is a production of Cary TV, the Town of Cary's government access channel.
Hi, welcome to Cary Matters, our monthly program that helps keep you informed of the issues that the Town of Cary is working on. I'm Jennifer Robinson, Council Representative from District A, and joining me today is my fellow council member, Jack Smith, who is not only our District C representative, he is also the longest serving in Cary's history. Thank you so much for being here, Jack.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad to be here. And when I first ran for office 29 years ago, and every time since then, I've run a campaign emphasizing the importance of citizen involvement. That's why I like doing this show so much. It's yet another tool we use to involve our citizens.
That's great, Jack. I just can't help thinking how old I was when you started serving. Today, we're going to talk about the progress being made to offer more recreational space to our citizens. And then we're going to talk about potential changes to our noise ordinance.
Two great topics, and I'm especially glad to be here today because not only are parks important to us all, but also to be able to clear up some minor confusion surrounding our noise standards. As many of you know, the town has begun construction on 3 new parks in the town of Cary. The costs of these 3 parks total approximately $13 million. And we're paying $8.4 million of that with the community investment bonds that you, the citizens, approved last year.
Okay, Jack. So let's start with the park that has to be nearest and dearest to your heart, Jack Smith Park. And yes, if you are at home watching this, you did hear me right. One of our newest parks has been named after Jack by his colleagues in appreciation of his years of dedication and service to our community.
Jennifer, you're making me blush, but I have to tell you, I am humbled by the recognition and very proud that Jack Smith Park is going to be another great place for people to relax and play and socialize. You know, when I was growing up, a park was a playground and a picnic table, and those slides were awfully hot to use in the summer. Now this park will have a playground and a whole picnic shelter. Plus it's going to have something that my grandkids are really excited about, a spray ground. Now I didn't even know what that was when it was first proposed, but a spray ground has water fountains and jets so that the kids can safely play in water during the hot summer months. It'll be our first spray ground, and it's a heck of a lot better than having kids rip off the tops of fire hydrants and dance in the street like they did where I grew up.
I'd like to see that. All right, it'll be so nice. We'll also have a dog park there, our second in Cary, so our furry friends can have fun too. Now, one feature that will be really cool is a climbing rock. North Cary Park has a climbing rock, and it is one of my kids' favorite destinations.
Well, I'm not as active as all those kids, but I'm going to enjoy using the trails that will run through the park. Of course, if you're out there wondering if the things we mentioned make up the entire park price tag, there is a lot more that we didn't mention that adds to the cost of a park. For instance, parking, restrooms, road widening, utilities, and landscaping. Jack Smith Park is located in the southeastern side of Cary off of Penny Road.
We also have a new park coming on the other side of town, and that is in the Carpenter neighborhood. And this park, called Carpenter Park, is located at the intersection of Lewis Stevens Drive and Morrisville Carpenter Road in Western Cary. Now, like Jack Smith Park, this park will have a playground and a picnic shelter. But in Cary, we like every park to have a unique experience. So Carpenter Park is going to have a central pond with an earthen dam. It'll also have something the town has never embarked upon before, and that will be a community garden. So if you like to garden, this is your place. I think this park offers a nice combination of both passive and active play. The pond and garden will be complemented by a preserved forest and a walking trail. And then for our more active visitors, we'll have some basketball courts and a lawn area for free play. Now, probably the most unique attribute of the Carpenter Park will be a memorial to those who lost their lives in the plane crashes of American Airlines flights 3379 and 3378. Both planes crashed in the area, and this memorial is a very heartfelt expression of grief and sympathy. And I have to say, I am so touched by all of the people that I have met that have been instrumental in creating this amazing memorial.
I agree, Jennifer. I was really touched by their efforts as well. Even though this is still on the far side of Cary from where I live, I look forward to visiting this park. Now, right in the middle of town, there is the third park under construction, right here in downtown Cary. And like the other parks we've been talking about, this new town park will be very unique in what it has to offer.
Okay, so our new downtown park will be the quintessential urban park with a town square space, a large fountain, and a performance space. In addition to a large open green space, it'll have what we call these small outdoor rooms that will have seating, chess tables, and ping pong tables. These will be cozy spaces for family and friends to gather. The construction of this park will begin later this year as we are still in the bidding phase of this project.
And Jennifer, there are efforts to improve some of our other parks that are going on, which include major maintenance and construction of greenways and small improvements to the existing parks. We're making a major enhancement to 2 parks that will benefit a lot of people. For durability, we are adding synthetic turf to 3 existing parks. Thomas Brooks will get 2 fields converted to the synthetic turf, as well as new lights so the fields can be used longer each day. The turf conversion is being done in partnership with the Capital Area Soccer League, also known as CASTLE. CASTLE will be paying for the turf, and the town is paying for the lights and the maintenance of the fields, a great public-private partnership. Mills Park and Middle Creek Park will each have one of their already lit fields converted to the new turf. And these conversions are being paid for again by the 2012 Community Investment Bonds.
These turf fields will provide the opportunity for people to continue to play in inclement weather, as well as later into the day. In other words, the additional play time means we'll get a lot more programming time without having to buy more land for fields. And that's important right now because the land costs are really going up in Cary. Okay, we're gonna go and take a brief break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about changes the town is considering to our noise ordinance.
Cary's Booth Amphitheater offers laid-back, friendly entertainment nestled amongst the hardwoods. America's best performers in a perfect setting. Enjoy cool shade from the pines or your own sunny spot on the grass. Easy to get to, Cary's Booth Amphitheater offers something for everyone under a canopy of stars. For festival, concert, and movie night information, visit boothamphitheater.com. The stage is set. Let us show you to your seats. Cary's Booth Amphitheater. Entertainment naturally.
Hi, thanks for staying with us during that break. Okay, Jack, at this time of the taping, we are in the process of having our staff prepare to bring to the council some official language that will change the way that we deal with noise as far as our ordinance goes, and the vote is set for July 9th. So some of you will be watching this right before the vote, and some of you will be watching it right after the vote. So I think it would be good for us to spend a few minutes talking about how we got to this point and what we think might happen moving forward.
I agree, Jennifer. Well, you know, I put all of this under the category no good deed goes unpunished. Council's goal is to bring clarity to an otherwise ambiguous ordinance and clearly define what is and isn't allowed. By undertaking this effort, we've had the unintended consequence of creating some confusion. Ironically, most of it in neighborhoods outside of Cary. This is one of those cases where the council really believes that we are cleaning up our current ordinances to reflect actual practices happening in the town with very few complaints.
Okay, now I bet we have really piqued people's curiosity, so let's explain. Our noise ordinance says that the maximum decibel level for noise is 60 decibels. There are a few different decibel levels that are allowable for specific types of noise, such as amplified sound. But in general, it's 60 decibels for most noise. Now, some people think that you can't do certain activities like cutting your grass at night. But in fact, the activity is not prohibited. Rather, the generation of noise above 60 decibels is prohibited. So interestingly enough, you can cut your grass in the middle of the night just so long as the noise generated from that lawnmower is not louder than 60 decibels at the edge of your property.
Some of that confusion surrounds the exceptions to the 60 decibel limit. So lawnmowers and blowers generate noise that is louder than 60 decibels and are exceptions to our noise limit. Starting at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday and at 9 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, lawnmowers and landscaping activities are permitted to exceed 60 decibel maximum. This exception is listed in our current policy under exceptions to our noise ordinance. That applies to everyone, including your neighbors, Jennifer. Another exception listed pertains only to golf courses. Our ordinances have said that golf course greens may be mowed as early as 6 a.m., 7 days a week from April 1st through September 30th. Now, Jennifer, you know I play golf, not very well, mind you, but I do play. And from a golfer's perspective, technically the green is the area closest to the holes. However, our old ordinance in practice utilized the term in its broadest sense.
Okay, so as someone who doesn't play golf, I thought that the greens included any grass on the golf course, green or otherwise. The proposed clarification to the ordinance kind of goes with that idea. The noise ordinance change will allow for any of the grass on the golf course, and not just the greens, to be mowed as early as 6 a.m., April through September. And although it'll allow for leaf blowers and the raking of sand as early as 6 a.m. also during those warm months. So that's kind of an important change.
That's right, and to be clear, no different than it is today. Another exception that is being clarified is the practice of allowing for golf course mowing, blowing, and raking as early as 7 a.m. between October 1st and March 31st. Currently, there's no exception during these months, but the courses have been doing it all along, and our police have only received 5 complaints about this over the last 3 years. So again, we are codifying what is already being done.
Okay, I think the concern about what is going to happen as a result of this ordinance change, assuming it's approved. I mean, I think that there's just like a lot of concern out there, and you know, Jack and I deal with this all the time. That kind of like the fear of the unknown is kind of the hardest thing, and not knowing what the implications are. So let's be sure folks understand that under what's being proposed at the time of this taping, these changes do not affect all landscaping tools. The new ordinance will specifically prohibit the use of certain kinds of equipment during the exceptions hours that Jack just mentioned. The use of equipment such as chainsaws, chippers, and shredders are specifically prohibited under the proposed ordinance during the exceptions hours. Now, the hours when this type of equipment could be used on the golf course would be the same as for any citizen in any area of town.
Jennifer, that is really a great point, and it actually strengthens our existing code, providing citizens greater noise relief than what is currently allowed. So if people are wondering if their neighbors will be allowed to mow their yards at 6 a.m., well, only if they can do it without making much noise. Remember, it's the noise level, not the activity in this case. Practically speaking, the answer is no. They won't be mowing at 6. unless they have one of those old ancient push mowers or one of the newer battery-operated ones.
Okay, on another note about this noise ordinance, the council is also looking to better define the method used to determine if there is a noise violation. So for example, to better protect residents' decibel levels, what is being proposed will now be subject to an average reading of 60 decibels and a peak reading of 63. If at any time the decibel level reaches 63 decibels, the operator would be in violation. Now previously, the noise level could exceed 60 decibels as long as the average did not. So you can see how this is an improvement for citizens.
Absolutely.
Okay, after this break, we'll talk about the events and the meetings during the month of July, so stick around.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Okay, we are back. In this final segment of Cary Matters, we want to talk about what's happening in July and how you can be involved. So Jack, start us off. What do we have going on?
Well, my favorite Cary place during the summer months is the Booth Amphitheater. And there are several concerts, events, and movie nights there throughout July, including the 4th of July concert and fireworks and the Wheels of Soul 2015 Summer Tour.
Okay, or you could come on down to downtown for one of the Starlight Concert Series concerts at the Page Walker Hotel. That's on July 24th, or to the next Chatham Street Chowdown Food Truck Rally on July 26th.
Let's mention that we'll have our council meetings on Thursday, July 9th and 23rd. We'll also have a work session on Tuesday, July 21st. Well, that's it for this edition of Cary Matters. We appreciate your watching and hope that what we've shared has been of interest. Please let us hear from you. Your time is important, and we want this show to be of value to you as we are working to bring you, our citizens, closer to your government.
And remember, help keep Cary litter-free, clean, green, and beautiful by volunteering with our Spruce program. Thanks for watching, and as always, thanks for choosing to call Cary home.
This has been a production of Cary TV. Visit the Town of Cary's website at townofcary.org.